in the kitchen with two guys who we're real excited to be teaming up with. Our next big night out is coming up November 11th. You need to be there or be square. We're headed to Little Chicago in Kaukauna, and here to tell us about it is the owner, Butch, who it's his birthday and anniversary, so happy birthday and happy anniversary.
Thank you.
The chef, Brian. Good morning, guys. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for doing the big night out. We have so much fun with these, and they are just you know, over the top successful. I think everybody needs a big night out once in a while, and it's a nice way to try out a restaurant that, you know, you've always wanted to try. So we're going to make the seafood chowder, Brian, and then Butch and I will talk a little bit about the restaurant. Let's start with the chowder, and this is something you do every Friday night.
Yep, well, every Friday morning, actually, because we're open for lunch also.
Okay.
We start out, my first routine is getting a chowder going. It's one of our popular sellers. We go through almost 15 gallons of chowder on a Friday night.
I can see why. It is the thickest, most amazing looking chowder.
So the first thing we'll start out with is just seasoning this haddock, and we'll get it in the oven right away.
Okay. So you roast it in the oven just to
yeah,
give
we
it some
roast it in
flavor.
the oven just to get it some flavor, and we get some good seasoning on there and a little bit of butter flavored here. And we'll get that going in the oven, then we'll saute some of our vegetables off.
About how long in the oven does this go?
About 20 minutes.
Okay.
We do have one in the oven already to prepare for time here.
And what is nice about this is that you can kind of use the ends of the fish. You know, sometimes when you're doing, you know, if you're doing haddock, this is a great way to use up some of the ends. So here it is all roasted. We'll put it off to the side.
Absolutely.
And then we'll go ahead and start working on the vegetables.
What we'll do is we'll saute some onion in there and some celery. That'll be the guts of our soup.
Okay.
Those three things are the main thing. Besides, we already have prepared here our cream soup, which basically would be the heavy whipping cream. You know, you put however amount we're making, and you thicken it with roux. I add
flour?
A little, flour and butter, the roux. And then we'll add a little bit of clam base in there just for flavoring. And we got some other seasonings that we'll add in there as we go too.
Okay, I'll let you saute the vegetables. I'm going to hop over here and talk with Butch a little bit. So first of all, the name for the restaurant. You do have some pastas and things like that, but you're mainly a supper club, kind of a kicked up supper club with all sorts of, you know, way more than you'd find at your normal supper club, correct?
Correct.
And why the name Little Chicago?
Well, it's kind of interesting because we actually, the week of your big night out is going to be our second anniversary in our new building. And before that, we started out in a former supper club. And with all respect to the previous owners, we needed a name change. And I remember back in the days that that area was known as Little Chicago, and that was the only thing that made sense to me. So it's basically for recognition. And there are a lot of the older generation that do remember the Little Chicago. And I hear it all the time as well. We got married there, and we had our wedding there, and just talking the good old days and stuff. So it just made sense.
Well, I love the name, and I'm really loving the food. So we're going to go through the menu that we're serving on. It's November 11th, and what I love about these big night outs is that they're so reasonable. There's no way you're going to go get all this food for this amount of money. And the restaurants what they're doing is trying to get you in the door, and hopefully you'll spread the word and come back and support local restaurants. So $50 per person. You need to reserve your spot. This is going to fill up quickly. A 5-course meal with 2 different wines and then a dessert drink at the end. So it is going to be fantastic. The number to call to reserve your spot is 920
462-4393.
Okay, and like I said, this is going to go very, very quickly at this price point, $50 per person. So, Butch, let's take us through the menu. Our first course is your choice of either the seafood chowder that Brian's making up over there,
Or our tomato basil,
okay,
which is Brian and the rest of the chefs, they make that up fresh too.
Homemade tomato basil soup. I love that. Okay, course number 2 is a salad that you have on the menu. Tell us about the salad.
The salad, it's a salad off of our lunch menu. It's the strawberry salad with a strawberry poppy seed.
Yep, strawberry poppy seed.
Poppy seed dressing.
And so it's greens and fresh strawberries, a wonderful poppy seed strawberry dressing. And then we're moving on to course number 2. We've got a surf and turf thing going on here. So we've got a steak course and a seafood course. It does not look like we're going to leave here hungry. Tell us, this is Steak Diane. This is one of your signature items, always on the menu.
This is a tenderloin Diane, and that's a item that Brian showed us in our original location, and we ran that as a special. But when we opened in the new building, I'm like, that has to go on the menu. It is just phenomenal.
It looks amazing.
Amy,
Steak.
what it is we take a tenderloin medallion and we cut it in half, and in a saute pan we will glaze it in a saute pan, put a little cracked pepper in there, some mushroom and some green onion, and then glaze it and flame it with brandy. And then we finish it off with a demi-glaze, which is just a really deep, rich, it's not a brown gravy, but I mean, it takes reduction after reduction, and it's just flavorful. And we soak that in there and finish sauteing it off, and then that finishes the dish.
And serve it with some potatoes,
Yep,
roasted
absolutely.
red potatoes. Oh my gosh! All right, now the fish course. This is another big one. This is a potato crusted haddock.
Yeah, and we'll take our haddock fillet, and we'll bread it, egg wash, and then in some hash browns and deep fry it, and it comes out golden brown, and we top it with a creamy Parmesan sauce.
Oh my gosh! A little asparagus.
Just delicious.
Unbelievable. And last but not least, this dessert.
That's my favorite. It's a chocolate cobbler. We make it scratch every Sunday. We serve it on our Sunday brunch. And we always set it up right next to our soft serve machine because you have to have a little ice cream with it.
Oh, and you're going to serve it on our big night out. We're going to serve it with a white dove, which is an ice cream after dinner drink. So this is the menu. Our soup is done. We add basically the fish and the vegetables at the end.
I'm ready to add it all. Yeah, it's all ready. First, we have an Italian seasoning that'll go in. Some white pepper, garlic powder and onion powder, and that'll be our base to the seasonings.
Okay, and then goes our...
It's already got the clam base in there and everything else.
Then our onions and our celery and our fish go in.
Yep, and all that goes in to complete it off.
Oh my goodness gracious. Then it is the most thick, amazing seafood chowder you have ever seen. And oh, wow.
Yeah, and you've seen it started out thick. It's coming out to be a really nice soup as it starts to heat up.
It looks fantastic. And you can always get that Fridays at Little Chicago in Kaukauna, but we hope to see you Thursday, November 11th, for our big night out. Please go to our website and get all the details and come join us. It's going to be great fun.